Hello, I'm Jessica and I welcome you to today's flexibility focus class. In this class we will work into our flexibility in a very efficient way using several techniques of passive and active stretching, including PNF stretches. For this class you don't need to be a advanced yogi. You actually don't need to be a yogi at all, as we will really work into the flexibility and using some minor yoga asanas for facilitating this class, but actually it's more about the whole flexibility and stretching of our muscles, lengthening the muscles and getting into the mobility of our joints. Said this, you will need props today for the active stretching, and this will be a pair of blocks, 2 blocks if you have, or if you have just 2 big books or something, just go around in your house and grab whatever you have. And you also will need a strap, but this can also be a bathrobe, a belt, or any other belt, or let's say a big towel or something. Said this, let's get started, and I see you on the mat. Let's get started. I meet you on the mat onto our backs. Keep your knees bent. Have your strap ready, and then just lay on your back. Flatten your spine to the ground. Keep your knees bent and then lift your right leg. Clasp your hands behind your right thigh, and then we take a few pulses of bending and straightening our right leg just to wake up our hamstring. And then straighten your right leg. Just really relax all the muscles in your right leg, relax your hamstrings, really feel into the passive hold. And then grab your strap and wrap your strap around your right foot. Ground down your elbows and try to passively draw your right leg towards your chest. Try to not engage your muscles as best as to your ability to really feel into this passive stretch and to notice how it feels in your body to be in a passive stretch. And then start to push your foot into your strap, draw your heel backward at the same time, draw your leg towards you with the support of your strap, and this will fire up your hamstring, and we will hold this active stretch for a count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then fully release and go back into this passive stretch with mindfully drawing your right leg towards your chest. Really feel and notice the difference. What we did is a PNF technique, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. It's a tough word. It comes from body therapy. We take another round, push your foot into the strap, draw your right heel towards the back, and at the same time draw your leg towards your chest for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then release. Draw your leg mindfully to your chest, release all the muscles, all the tension. And then bend your right leg and we will switch sides. First, bend your left knee into your chest and we take a few pulses here, bending and straightening our left leg, waking up the hamstring on the left. And then straighten your left leg. Take a moment here to hold your left leg. And then take your strap. Wrap your strap around your left foot and first really Release your elbows towards the ground and gently pull your leg towards your chest and really release all the muscles and all the tension in your left leg. We will go into our active stretch and the P&F technique. Draw your left heel backward and at the same time, with the help and support of the strap, draw your leg towards your chest and hold for a count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then release and mindfully draw your leg towards your chest. Take a breath here. Then second round, draw your heel backward and at the same time draw your leg towards the chest, push your foot into the strap for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release all the muscle tension and really keep your spine grounded, your shoulder blades grounded. Release the strap, bend your leg, and then roll to your right side and come up to sit. Straight legs into staff pose, ground down, your hands to both sides of your hips, really elongate your spine. If you like, you can sit onto a blanket. And we will go into the active stretching of our hamstrings, and we'll fire up our hamstrings, really warming up our hamstrings with this efficient active stretch. For this, bend your knees, elongate your spine, flex your feet, and first fold over with your torso over your legs. Grab the outer edges of your feet. And then to fire up the hamstrings, push your heels into the ground and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then release, straighten your legs. And gently fold over your legs. You don't have to go very deep at the moment. Just starting to open up the tightness in our hamstrings. Come up with your torso. Bend your knees. Flex your feet. Fold over your legs. Grab the outer edges of your feet. Push the heel firmly into the ground and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then release into the fold. Notice if you maybe can fold a little bit deeper, but really relax all the tension in the targeted area. This is also P&F technique while we are pushing, through the pushing of our heels, we're creating a resistance and doing an active stretch, and through the resistance, the targeted area is getting heated up, and this will efficiently deepen our flexibility and will elongate our muscles. We do this once more. Bend your knees, fold over, grab the outer edges of your feet, flex your feet, push your heels into the ground for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release, fold over. Walk your hands back and then flex your feet. We will fire up our opposing muscle, our quadriceps, to then fold deeper into our flexibility. Really engage and flex your feet, and then you can tap your quadriceps, fire up those quadriceps and really engage those quadriceps and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then release and fold. Relax all the muscles. Relax engagement of the quads. And then walk your hands backward. We do this once more. Flex your feet. Fire up your quads and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release into your forward fold, into your Paschimottanasana. While we are engaging our agonist muscles, the targeted muscle, the hamstrings, will elongate. And once we're releasing the contraction, we will notice that this heating up of our muscles will help us to work deeper into our flexibility, and this in a very short amount of time. Walk your hands backward and then swing your legs back and come up into all four, tabletop position. Your wrists are underneath your shoulders, your knees and hips are stacked. We will work into our runner stretch. Step your right leg forward, have your 2 blocks ready to both sides of your front leg. Release your hands onto the blocks. And then first we gently fold over our right leg. Really release all the tension. Don't engage any muscles as best as to your ability. We'll stay here for a moment, relatively passive in the stretch. And then come up into a half lift. And then really flex your front foot. Draw your right hip backward and then push your heel into the mat for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release and fold over your front leg. We do this 2 times more. Come into a half lift. Draw your right hip backward. Push your heel firmly into the ground. Flex your front foot and hold this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then release all the tension. Come up into a half lift. Last time, flex your front foot. Push your heel into the ground for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fully release the contraction of the muscles. You can also release your hands to the ground and take a moment in this passive stretch, in the fold. And then come onto your hands. So you just simply switch legs. Step your left foot forward into runners. Release your hands onto the blocks and first fold over into a relative passive fold and stretch to notice the difference. And then take a half lift. Draw your left hip backward and push your front heel, your left heel into the ground for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release into your fold. Relax all the muscles. And next inhale, come up and flex your front foot. Push your heel into the ground for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release. Once more. Flex your foot and push your heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then release, fully release. You can also release your hands onto the ground or keep your hands onto the blocks. Really take a moment here into this passive stretching and notice the opening in your left hamstring. On your next inhale, come all the way up. Step your left leg backward. Set your blocks aside for a moment and then just bring your right leg forward into a bent knee. Lift your back leg and we will just bounce in this lunge for a few times, just waking up our legs, and then fold into and push back into a pyramid. Your back foot can be lifted. Take a moment here. And then come into half lift, flex your front foot, and we just go for one time into PNF. Push your right heel into the ground and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release your foot and fold. You can always stay onto your hands or use a block. And then bend your front knee, release your left knee and step back into all four. We go for the second side. Step your left foot forward, bend your front knee. You can have your blocks. And then lift your back leg. You can also do the bouncing onto the blocks with your hands. And then straighten backward into pyramid for a moment. Back foot is lifted. Come into a half lift. Flex your front foot and push your heel firmly into the ground for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release your foot and release all the tension. On the next inhale, bend your front knee, release your right knee to the ground and push back into all four. We will work into half split and then eventually into a full split. You don't have to go all the way. It's more the goal or more the it's actually more the goal to feel into the flexibility and work into the flexibility than to actually go into your front split. Set this. Bring your right leg forward into a runner stretch. And we will slowly work through PNF stretching technique into eventually deeper flexibility. For this, bring your block underneath your right thigh. You can either go for the first round for the middle height of the block or onto the lower. I prefer to go on the middle height and then push your thigh into the block, flex your front foot, and I like to bring my hands onto my thigh to really fire up this leg, and then release your left hand maybe onto the block or keep your hands onto your right thigh, and we push the leg into the block for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Take your block out. Take a moment to release into wherever you are. Maybe on your half split, something like a runner's stretch, or maybe you already have your front split. Don't go as deep as you could. Really work mindfully into the stretch. Second round, maybe you want to lower your block. Bring your right thigh onto the block. Push your thigh into the block and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Take your block out. And maybe you can come all the way down to the ground, or you can of course stay onto your blocks. Just notice what you need in your body. Why we want to work into flexibility and lengthening our muscles is because muscles are connective tissue and our joints are surrounded from connective tissue. And when this connective tissue, aka the muscles, are tightening and we don't elongate them or work into the flexibility of our connective tissue, of our muscles, of course the connective tissue gets tight, and this decreases our ability to move our joints. Hence our natural range of motion is decreased, and we really want to increase this natural range of motion. And that's why it's actually crucial to work into the flexibility. You can come back into all four for a moment, and then we work into the second side. Step your left leg forward into a runner stretch, and then bring your block on the middle height underneath your left thigh. Maybe you like to keep your right hand onto the block or bring your hands onto your left thigh, flex your front foot, and then firmly push your thigh into the block for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Take your block out for a moment. And take a moment to release into your stretch. Just go as deep as your edge is. Don't push yourself. Second round, maybe you like to lower your block. Bring the block right underneath your thigh, and then flex your front foot and push your thigh into the block for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. And maybe you can go a little bit deeper. Maybe you can release everything to the ground. You can, of course, stay up onto your hands, onto your blocks. Just go as deep as you feel the need today. Maybe the side is different than the other side. Through our modern lifestyle of sitting a lot, we're really tightening up in our muscles. And we really need to work into opening and lengthening those muscles and releasing the tightness. And the PNF stretch is a very efficient way to increase the flexibility as we're warming up through active stretching very fast our targeted areas, and then through the passive stretch releasing. And this combination of contracting and releasing is actually increasing the ability to find into the flexibility. I wouldn't recommend to do this every day, but if you do this like once a week or 2 times a week, you will notice how this will help you to really release tension and tightness. Set this, make your way back into an all 4. Swing your legs forward and shake out your legs. I thank you for joining in today and for taking this class. I will work once in a while into flexibility, as this is a focus of mine, of my personal practice and also as a teacher. So just check out my YouTube channel or my other social handles. You will find everything in the captions, and see you next time. Thank you.